back to Stay Tuned. I'm Tony Angelo. Today we've got my 240SX project all loaded up in the trailer. We're about to hit the road with this puppy, and by spending $0, we're going to flip it into two brand new projects for the channel. And they are sweet rigs. And they're nothing you've ever seen here before. So when I decided to build a V8 for drifting and I bought that C5, I wasn't sure what I was going to do with my 240SX project. It was kind of being built into a pretty serious little four-cylinder drift car. It made 320 wheel horsepower, which you could really get through some competitions with, full cage, gnarly suspension, and like seats, handbrake, the whole bit, angle kit, ready to rock, full on track car. And in one of the earlier episodes, I said this sucker's for sale. I listed it, then I listed it on my social media, on my Instagram, for like $14,000, which, believe it or not, is not a bad price for that. Just the Japanese stock motor and transmission, the swap is like $6,500 these days. So I thought that was decent, plus a caged shell and a tuned computer with everything. And I really didn't get any bites. Normally we sell stuff here, it flies off the shelf. But I was like not having any real interest. You know, a couple of looky-loos, a couple of people who want to chit-chat and whatever, which is totally fine. But when it came down to like, come get it, nobody was jumping at it. And I had always really wanted to go to someone who was going to compete with this car and, you know, use it to its full potential, because it's super clean, it's got no rust, it's never been crashed, and a properly set up S13 240 is really a good car to drive and to drift with. And luckily, I think we found just the guy. The car is going to a guy named Jared, who him and his brother have been getting more and more and more into drifting, doing local competitions, helping each other and some buddies try to like race in the Pro-Am circuits, get their pro licenses, and they've got a couple of Miatas, but he wants to take the next leap, and this car should be just right for him. Now we're trying to get there. We have to go, our shop is outside of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and we're trying to get to Erie, which is basically touching Canada. It's the very opposite end of the state, 350 so miles, and the truck is not making barely any boost. Got my Dodge Ram here with the Cummins 6.7, and as you can see, we're getting I am pushing it through the floor, fully wooded. We've got a bunch of different lights on here. I've got a battery light. We put two brand new batteries in it today, and now it has a battery light, so that's bad news, but it seems to be charging a little bit over 13 volts, 13 to 14, where it should be, so we just decided to hit it anyway. And this truck is very stout normally, but it's only making 12 or 8 PSI. So I've been just, you know, hammering on it. We're on the PA Turnpike, getting outrun by every soccer mom here in a Ford Escape. But we're doing our best. We might have to stop and pull over and see what's what. But this might just turn into like a will it make it home episode, Derek style. I guess we're heading away from home.
Yeah, will it make it there?
Yeah, will it make it there? Does he do those? I don't know.
Yeah,
all right. Well, will it make it to Jared's home? Maybe.
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned. Or you'll see. We're gonna leave you or anything. We'll see what happens next. All you're gonna miss is this. Me absolutely pinned to the floor and us going 63. 64. 65. Not get it? Ugh. I think maybe that fuel pressure, that rail sensor is not connected. What? The truck is hot. We're on the side of the turnpike. Trying to figure this out. Alright, so I found some loose connections under the truck, flipped everything around, and we're in business here. Sounds good. No check engine, staying off. Battery light is off. We're gonna hit the road for real now. and hopefully I can go over 53 miles an hour on the turnpike. Because I don't know if you guys know what 70 miles an hour means on the sign here in Pennsylvania, but it means you better be doing 85.
Nowhere near 70.
Yeah. All right, rock and roll. A little dirtier than before, but feeling a lot more hopeful. Man, there's nothing that bites into your soul like staring at a bunch of lights in the dashboard. Check engine. Then just a bright red battery light, man. I'm like, that's fine, everything's fine. It's fine, everything's fine.
I'm on the road trip, Rick, dude.
Oh, man.
Need this thing.
Oh, let's go. That's better. It's better. I feel like I can hear it starts better. Yeah, you feel that? That's horsepower.
We're already going faster than we were.
Oh, it is. 40, 50.
Cruising, baby.
55, 60, like nothing. All right, there, we're back in business. Back in business. Awesome. All right, well, it feels effortless now. We are 5.5 hours late. Hopefully, Jared has a flexible schedule. Spoiler, he doesn't. He does not. He is working on a nursing degree. He's got practicums and residencies and whatever else those guys do. But hopefully we can just be there after everything. We are flying now. Feels good. Cool. All right, we have been pulling nice and easy since we got this truck running right. We've got the 240 in the enclosed trailer. We're about halfway there. We're 35 miles from State College, which is like right in the middle of the state. I think we got about 3 hours left to get up to Erie. We're rocking and rolling. I'm just putting some diesel in the rig, and we're gonna go eat some barbecue in a gas station. So we are just living it up and taking chances. See how this goes. Hopefully, Gio's, which is an Italian name, it's not really known for our barbecue. Award-winning barbecue. Again, at a fuel stop. We'll see what happens. What? Buy, sell. Buy, sell, yes. Absolutely. Hold on. I've got another call. What's up, y'all? I'm going to take 2 seconds here and tell you about Raycon Everyday Earbuds. These are absolutely killer. And with Barb gone home on paternity leave, I'm wearing a lot of hats. I'm doing a ton of the stuff that Barb used to cover, which means like talking to sponsors about parts, ordering parts from different vendors, getting in shop supplies, all these different things where I'm on the phone a ton more now than I was a month ago. And these Raycon Everyday Earbuds help me with that. I use them, I love them because number one, they're active noise cancellation. So Declan can be making a bunch of noise in the shop and I can still have these things on and be making a phone call. It's really hard to find active noise cancellation at this price point, but the Raycon Everyday Earbuds do it. They're a super, super killer value. They're the sponsor of today's video and it's a really easy one because it is a killer product and they've got a couple features that blow me away. I'm not a great planner and I always forget to charge these things. And you can toss them on the charger for 10 minutes and then use them for 90 minutes.
They also have all these cool protective cases that come in a ton of colors.
And I carry these things with me all the time. It's awesome. They connect to different multiple Bluetooth devices. So I can be on the phone or jump right back to watching a video edit and get right back on a phone call, or I'll be a lot of times on my lawnmower, ripping through the grass at home, listening to tunes, canceling out as much of that noise as I can. We take them on road trips, listen to music when you get 5 minutes by yourself. You know, we're sharing a hotel room and I don't want to hear Coons snoring. They're just killer. I've got 2 or 3 sets of these I've got with me at all times.
So go to buyraycon.com/stay tuned.
And get 15% off their best-selling everyday earbuds. All right, let's get back on the road and trade up this 240. So we just showed up. This is Jared's place. We've been talking for a couple of weeks and we're gonna get him this 240SX in trade. And I just want to show him the car because he has sort of aspirations to get competing in drifting. You've been drifting for a while, right?
About 2 years.
2 years with Miatas.
Yeah.
You and your brother.
Me and my little brother.
And you just want to get more serious about it.
Yeah, more or less.
Awesome. Awesome. Like I said, I really wanted the car to go to somebody that's going to use it. And like, we were building it to be pretty serious. So Toss these under. It's a really solid car and chassis. I think you'll really be stoked on it.
Unbelievably stoked, man.
Awesome.
Just seeing the back of it makes me excited. I do think that there was boards still behind there.
Yeah, they will. I'm gonna just like take it off the winch.
Okay.
And we'll shove you out because you're gonna stay in there. All right, little brakes maybe.
Yep.
There you go. So it's like I said, it's got the full chassis harness from Wiring Specialties, which is great. It has like a PWM or PDM power distribution and a switch panel. It's got a link ECU with the dash. We have the dashboard and stuff. This is kind of temporary dyno and
Yeah.
run down the road stuff.
God, you weren't kidding, man. This thing is stout.
Cage is super stout. The car is super straight. There is not a speck of rust on it. It was a Florida car.
I'm also not gonna lie to you, I was damn near as excited about the steering wheel as I was the car.
Okay.
That steering wheel is sick.
You can have the steering wheel. Yeah, we built it like we used to do all the FD cars. You put the intercooler super far back behind the bash bar so it doesn't get smashed. And then we usually either run a fixed light or run the lights just up. You know what I mean? Because you're not gonna the motor doesn't fit anymore. But you just run a light, like a half height light, and put the covers back on it. Is a popular thing to do, or like a stay down light.
And you guys stitch welded the whole front end too.
The whole front end, yeah. So we got it before we put the motor in. We did what we normally would do, which is stitch weld it and paint it all gray. And then we haven't, like I said, I would pull the seats out. The next thing we were going to do is pull the seats out, pull most of the harness out, or put it in a trash bag. Scuff the cage.
Yeah, and
then
paint the whole thing.
The whole base gray and paint the cage like a cool color or something.
So if you had to pick a color for the cage, what would it be?
I was either going to do
Because that's one thing I have been able to think.
and I was going to do a purple stick and change the wheel, or I would do red cage and match it to the steering wheel and the handle.
Yeah, that would be sick. That was what I was trying to think, I'm not going to lie, was what color that would be.
Yeah.
Kind of going into it.
Yeah, we'll decide what you're going to do with the car, too.
Well, yeah.
It's got the Origin wide body. I'm pretty sure it's Origin. I have a Duraflex urethane
good,
kit. It's got Q45 brakes in the front. It has a separate Willwood handbrake in the back, you know, like regular 240 on the foot, and then it has Willwood
on the rear. So you were running the dual caliper and everything.
It's a dual caliper, yeah.
And you said you have GK Tech around the whole thing, pretty much?
I have some GK Tech stuff in the front. It has knuckles on it, but I have. Let me see if we put them on or not. I don't know. We built a lot of cars. Yeah. Okay. So we have their tension rods on there, and you can see factory tie rod. But I don't know if we have their angle kit or this is just the knuckles that were on it. That's the knuckles that were on it. So I have a GK Tech mild angle kit in the back. I have their kit to move the to move the pickup point on the lower arm in the subframe. It's worth doing.
Yeah, you were saying that was like the auto or the leveling,
it changes
right?
the anti-squat so that like it puts the power down and it'll make smoke and it'll go hard in drift. So
which is what we're looking for.
yeah. That's an extra clutch that we didn't need because we wound up taking it apart and it has a super sick OS Geiken twin plate and we were like, we're not. Not putting that in. It was something my buddy had bought. And we have a ton of extra spares, tie rods and stuff. You know, I was kind of putting like, there's other brakes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, there's
You weren't kidding.
other harnesses, GK Tech lines. Like, you know, basically I was trying to put together a car and then I bought another car that had like some pretty good stuff on it and I was like, all right, we'll just kind of mix and match. But there's, and then I think in there is the stuff you cut and weld into the subframe. That's a GK
yeah, for
Tech
the
one.
leveling.
Yep.
Jesus.
Like I said, I think the thermostat, we've never overheated it. It worked fine on the dyno with the fan.
Mm-hmm.
But I think from sitting the last time, the thermostat, when we were running it outside, just moving it around, last time I drove it up and down the road,
Yeah.
it wasn't getting any heat out of it. So I have a thermostat.
Okay.
I have a gasket somewhere, but I couldn't find it.
It's no worries.
Yeah.
Like I can source a gasket.
For sure. But you can see, like that's that New Zealand hybrid ball bearing turbo that somebody put together for us. So the motor is, pretty stock, long block with that turbo, big injectors, and the tune. It made 319 at the tires, which is right around what I wanted to.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's gonna be
do. Yeah, it's got the world's last actual Nismo power brace in there. That costs an absolute fortune.
Good Lord.
And then it's got good mounts. It's got a lot of mostly braided lines everywhere. It should be a pretty solid little car.
Yeah, I don't doubt that.
Cool.
When I peeked in on like the little video when I saw the listings, I was like, there's no way that like this is actually them like doing this,
Yeah.
I peeked in, I like went and looked into everything. I was like, oh my God, it actually is. And that's like when I kind of shot that message, like, hey, would you be up for like
a trade?
Something like this, like a trade? And I think Mike was the one that got back to me.
Not just Mike. Everyone's named Mike we work with. The other Mike.
How many Mikes are there?
We have 4 Mikes?
3 out of the 5
Yeah,
guys.
they're all named Mike. Now we have a Declan at least. And like I said, like once I talked to you, and you were like, I want to go drifting, I was like, all right, let's do it. To find a rust-free 240 shell these days
Is like damn near
straight
impossible.
is pretty tough.
Yeah. Let alone a drivetrain or anything else done to it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I had my buddy's whole car. This was his daily driver in like 2009 or 8 or something, and then the alternator went bad, and he parked it for a million years, but he let it rust into the ground.
Mm-hmm.
So then I got this motor out of it and put it in this super nice shell.
Yeah, the
that I
nice
bought,
shell.
and kind of just kept going from there.
It's incredible.
Yeah, cool. I mean, look, man, I wish you all the best with it. I think it'll be awesome. I'm definitely going to follow along.
Well, I appreciate you. Hopefully we take it somewhere and you'll be able to see it do something fun.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. That's awesome, man.
Like I said, we haven't barely put any miles on it. We got it tuned. I ripped it up and down the street and stuff. It runs smooth.
It sounded insane on video.
Yeah, it's good.
Like, dude,
It's stout.
I'm stoked.
Awesome.
Like, genuinely. Thank you, man. Seriously,
Yeah,
for
of course.
everything. I appreciate you.
Absolutely, dude. I'm so for you to get it and be able to go use it like it's supposed to. So I'm pumped.
Well, just to be able to have the opportunity to meet someone that's done a lot for essentially what all of this is, come from.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's sick.
Probably could use fresh gas, but
Fresh gas, new plugs,
yeah.
just a little tune-up.
All right, you wanna
Yeah.
try to
Back her in.
drive her in?
That's a clutch, I'll tell you.
Oh yeah. You're doing fine. You got it. Straight there. Right. We've got what I just traded for loaded up, and you'll see it in the morning. I'm super excited though. All right, so we're in the hotel almost 2 o'clock in the morning, passed out, woke up, realized that we're in Erie, Pennsylvania. We're 10 minutes or so from one of the Great Lakes. Coons has never seen a Great Lakes. We went out, checked it out this morning. It's just epic, man. It's just like a natural phenomenon. I can't imagine what it was like to roll up on that 100 years ago, 200 years ago, and just see the ocean in the middle of Pennsylvania. But
amazing. But here's, I'm gonna show you, this is what I traded my 240SX drift project for. It is, boom, a Harley Davidson motorcycle. It's a 2006 Street Bob with some modifications to it. All right, so I grew up with motorcycles, mostly Japanese stuff. Street bikes really only. My last bike was a Triumph Speed Triple 1050 total hooligan bike, but it's been a while, and I've wanted to scratch the itch for a while, and just being around all these Harley maniacs, including Coons and Mike Edwards and all these other dudes and Stone, I want to get something like this, a full-on kind of hot rod Harley, and this is it. This thing is fuel injected, 88 cubic inch with the 6-speed. It's got some cam upgrades. It's got a fueling cam chest to sort of rectify some of the cam tensioner issues these bikes are known for. It should be very solid. It's super clean. It's got 17,000 miles. And I'm gonna ride it right now and see what it feels like. Let's go. I don't know how to do this thing. Forwards are pretty far from my little legs here.
Yeah, this bike ironically is fit for me really nicely.
I think Jared was shorter than I am, but my guy must have been out there straight-legged it.
Sitting on the gas tank maybe.
I love it.
Motorcycle Bros. What's up, brother? More brothers. What's up? He's making it. He's making it. He barely made it. Goodness, dude. Not even breathe.
first reaction?
Awesome.
Yeah?
Oh, I love it. Yeah. Super fun, real torquey, like super maneuverable. I cannot reach the pegs.
Yeah.
As soon as I pulled out, I don't know if you saw me, I did like a this. Like my brain
you
was
went for
like,
mids, yeah.
where are the pegs? And then I did, you know, it's all right. I'll ride it for sure like this, but I'm gonna get mid controls on it for sure. I don't know, you know.
A little faster than you expected or about what you expected?
About what I expected.
Yeah.
Really fun. There's like 4 great turns immediately, like this way. I was like, boom, boom, boom. I'm like, yeah, this is really fun. And then I saw a bunch of dudes, a bunch of brothers out there, and I was like,
your brethren.
I was like, what's up, dudes? And it was awesome. Yeah,
You're a Harley guy now.
Yeah, I'm a big Harley guy. There was a guy on like one of those like Yamahas with the 6 cylinders.
Yeah, yeah.
And I was like, get out of here,
When he went
dude.
by.
But yeah, they all like were nodding at me and like waving, except one guy was super stiff at the end and he basically rode off the road. He looked like a baby, like when a baby deer stands up for the first time.
Yeah, giraffe
That's how
legs.
that guy rode a motorcycle. I
Baby
was
giraffe
like,
legs.
terrified for him. Anyway, yeah, it's wicked. You want to ride it?
I do.
All right, hop on.
We're in there.
There's gears in there.
There they are.
All 6'2" of Mike Coons, Mr. Forward Controls himself. I turned it off. It's gonna take her for a spin.
All right, see what it does. Brakes work. I want to make sure your brakes work, you know?
Oh yeah, they look good.
Feels great.
It's good, right?
It fits me really well, actually. It's very comfortable.
Yeah, I bet.
But yeah, it
19.
boogies, feels pretty effortless and smooth. It's you know, being like a modern fuel injected Harley. I still think it has plenty of character. It's not.
Yeah, for sure.
It's not too.
It's poppy. It's
Too smooth.
rowdy.
Yeah, a little pop on the D cells. I'm sure it's because of that exhaust in the tune, but yeah, definitely fun, solid ripper for sure.
Awesome.
Feels solid as a rock.
All right, well, cool. Well, as part of this trade, we're going to get another Harley because 2 is better than 1.
More Harleys.
More Harleys.
Let's go.
Can't be a Harley guy with just 1 Harley.
Yeah, it's 2 of us.
Let's load that sucker up. We got more business to do.
All right, speed, camera speed.
Who are you talking to?
I guess
You in the
us.
future?
You, me, and yeah, editor's note.
Yeah, that's you.
That's me.
Got it. All right, so we just got off the Dyna, the Street Bob. I thought it felt awesome.
It was great. Yeah, solid bike.
Yes. So that is like a modern kind of hot rod bike. It was certainly in. Well, I decided I want to get a Harley like 5 months ago or so. The Dyna was like way up there in contention for the bike I wanted. Guys do stunt riding with them. They make them rip on twisties. They strip them down. They really like make power with them. They hot rod them out. Like it's a cool bike. And just randomly, I was trying to sell the 240. And look, we've talked about this before. We want to clear out cars, right? We need more space. I'm saving up for a shop, so I didn't want to spend a bunch of money. So it was trading time. And what's really cool is that Jared hit me up, and I really wanted the 240 to go to someone who was gonna race it, who appreciated it, and wanted to get it on track and finally finish up what we were doing with it. And he was like the perfect guy, and he hit us up and he was like, "Hey, would you like a 2006
Yeah,
Street Bob in trade?" And Barb hit us up. Barb had listed it, and he was like, "You guys want a Harley for this?"
He sent us a photo on the text message. He's like, "Is this cool? Are you interested in this?" And we're both like, "Yeah,
Yeah,
interested,
absolutely.
for sure interested."
For sure, I'm gonna talk to the kid. And we had it, I had my 240 listed at 14K, and the Dyna was around 8K, so I wasn't trying to kill him. Like I said, I really want to make this deal happen for him. But there was another bike I wanted for $3,500. So my goal was this: get rid of the 240 and get this Dyna and another Harley that I wanted for no money out of pocket. And on top of that, rocking along with the no dollars out of pocket theme, I sold the FX2 Escort that's been laying around since we were racing it, and I sold it back to the kid who originally built it, Randy, which is awesome because he knows that thing inside and out, wants to get it back on track again, and I sold it to him for $500. I think we bought it for $2,000 or $1,800, and then somebody, I can't remember, Barb, blew up the transmission.
It was Barb.
For sure. I mean, you guys can watch the video. It could have been anybody, but it was definitely Barb.
Yeah. What you didn't see was right before that take, Tony was like, "Oh, next shot we'll get Coons in. He can rip around the track, and we'll get some hot laps in." And then
Barb was like, "No, you won't."
Barb was like, "There's one Michael on this channel, and it's
me.
Barb Leonardo." Yeah, we heard it. We all heard him say
Yeah,
it.
it was
and then-
crazy.
yeah, I think
I heard it for sure. Anyway, that thing is worth certainly less than what we paid for it. And we had a day of thrashing in it, so I told it to him for $500 just to get it out, but also to have some gas money for this trip.
Yeah.
So it all worked out perfectly.
Dude, it was crazy serendipitous how it came together that the kid that got the 240 was the pretty much perfect kid. Him and his younger brother both built Miatas, newly into
Wanted to go drifting, knew the car, knew the channel.
They had a cool shop set up. They're
Awesome.
they're building and working on cars. Their dad was the man. That felt like the perfect kid to get it. And as we've been talking about bikes for so long, the trade to that, and what are we, 6 hours away from?
Yeah.
We're on the Great Lakes, 6 or 7 hours away from Philadelphia.
Yeah, and he's right by the other bike.
Both of these bikes, are within an hour of each other.
Sick.
It all kind of fell into place where.
Perfect. So when I decided I wanted to get a Harley, I did a bunch of research. Coming from racing and sport bikes, I wanted kind of like the sportiest Harley, but not just a sports star. I wanted something that handled well, and I did a bunch of research a few months ago, and I found that there's one bike that's supposed to be head and shoulders above all else. It's like the best handling, best riding Harley ever made. It was made from 84 to 94, and it's called an FXR. And it's a super special kind of cult classic bike that, like, if you know kind of Harley. Yes. And I love it. I just did all this research, like, because I knew I wanted one, and figured out I kind of locked in on the FXR, and I hit up my buddy Mike Edwards, who you've seen on the channel a bunch with the Challenger. He's got a Harley, and I didn't know what it was. And I was like, what is your Harley? And he goes, it's an FXR. And I was like, oh, duh.
He knows.
I probably could have just asked him.
Yeah.
Coons also has had some FXRs. These are bikes that were made, like, started design in like 79 or so, or 80, I believe.
Yeah, the first production was 82, so I'm sure it was few years before that.
But the idea was to like compete with the Triumphs and the Japanese bikes that were like street bikes that handled and rode really well. And somehow, some way, and Harley had just bought themselves out of AMF, and I think this was their like big strike into like, we can compete like with the other global brands as an American bike. And they made this thing that people say will probably go down as the best riding Harley Davidson ever, like in perpetuity.
It is too, man. It's not it's not any $600 80 sport bike is gonna be faster, handle better, and brake better because it's a sport bike. So within the realm of it's a Harley, it's the best handling Harley. It's
I have read so much about them and so many reviews, and people are like, they're absolute magic.
Yeah,
and they're loved by like, riding enthusiasts. The Eric Buell, like AMA legend, had a huge hand in engineering the whole setup, the frame, everything. We'll talk more about it later.
Yeah.
But they're loved by like stunt dudes and what I'm calling hot rod Harley kids and outlaws that like really want to get down and get
it really is. It's like the canyon carving bike as far as like handling, but it's also like an outlaw bad boy motorcycle gang bike, which rules.
Also,
and people wheelie them, people slide them around and do burnouts in them. They do it all. But I have a very specific memory of the first time I rode one, and after riding a bunch of Dynas, shovel heads, like classic Harley cruisers, and really noticing immediately, not even riding it super hard, that this weight is like much more low slung, much more centralized, just like very balanced. You really feel how much you don't feel it, and that it handles significantly better.
And I got a smoking deal on one. They can be 7, 8, 10, 12, 15,000 bucks depending on how modified, miles, the look of them, what parts are on them. But I was able to find one with a fresh motor, 65,000 mile bike, which apparently sounds absolutely mind-blowing to me coming from the world of Hondas and Yamahas and stuff, is not unusual on a Harley, which is crazy to me for a brand that doesn't really have an incredible reputation for like reliability, that dudes are still putting 70, 80, 90,000 miles.
People ride them,
They really ride them. So this one has 65K on it. It's an 87 lowrider model with a refreshed motor. And again, I've seen them. The ones that I even liked were 7, 8, 9, 10,000 bucks. I talked this guy down. He was at 6, then to 4, and then 3,500 bucks. We came to an agreement. Again, I think a lot of it is that he's in the middle of literal nowhere.
There's not
absolute
as much of
nowhere.
FXR market out here.
Yes. So that's the deal. I'm going to turn that. And I was really going between Dyna and FXR, and I'm turning that 240 into one of each.
Both of them.
One of each. So let's go check this FXR out.
My favorite part is the irony in the process of starting to look for a twin cam Dyna.
Yeah.
I wanted to, I've watched a bunch of dudes stunting them, and
to have like a long distance fun ripper.
Yeah, one I could really just put miles on and really, do some trips and stuff. And I'm like literally favoriting them and starting to like message people and getting into buying one. And I'm telling you, you should get an FXR. They are that good. I've had 3 of them.
Yeah.
Every time I got rid of one, I've regretted it. And within a week or 2 of sending it back and forth, I got FXR fever again. Completely forgot about the Dyna. I sent a link to you saying you should really buy this one. I found
and I was like,
deal.
I'm not trying to spend any money out of pocket right now. I want to just
I love
save.
how that fell together. I wasn't real. I probably shouldn't have been buying a motorcycle that week particularly anyway, but
after the truck, it's been a couple bucks.
Yeah,
in the truck.
a couple bucks in the C10, but could not pass this one up. Found one locally, so I'm now immediately right back in the FXR game, and you end up with the Dyna and the FXR, and we can ride them both and compare them a little bit.
And we have 2 open car spots at the other shop.
Yeah,
win, win, win.
Yeah,
right,
bikes are smarter than cars.
Let's go check out this bike. I'm pumped.
You're gonna love
Super
it.
Pumped. I hope I can reach the pedals on this one.
this is it, my new, to me, 1987 Harley Davidson FXR. Supposed to be an absolute magical motorcycle. To like casuals, it just looks like another Harley, but believe me, Harley guys know. You see this triangle in the frame? They know it's the legendary FXR. This thing has 65,000 miles on it, which happens on Harleys. But basically, an older gentleman had bought it sort of in pieces. It had been in like a front yard wreck. He got the motor refreshed. He put everything back together, spruced it up. He painted it himself, and he sold it to me for 3,500 bucks, which apparently is an absolute steal. It's supposed to be ready to go, ready to ride. It's got a couple things on it. It's got a 2-in-1 Vance & Hines pipe. It's supposed to have maybe a cam in it, but it's ready to ride. New wheel bearings, new grips, new levers, new cables, and like I said, that fresh new motor. So I'm super pumped. 3,500 bucks for an FXR of any kind apparently is a great deal, and we're very stoked that this thing is ready to ride. You know what's going to happen now? I could sit here and tell you a million different things about why this thing's special, or we could ride them and see if it's all true, and that's what we're going to do. When you and your buddy pick up 2 motorcycles in a day, you take them for a ride.
What else are we going to do, baby?
You want to ride this one, that one?
I want you to ride this one.
All right, I'm going to ride the FXR.
Me at the Dyna.
See what's good.
All right, let's go.
Coons got his helmet at the shop, so I had to pull out this thing. This is what I used to ride motorcycles with. It's just a Suomi from 100 years ago. It's just bleeding old foam. But I'm going to put it on my head.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, it's absolutely I mean, it's been, oh, there's some. Oh, God, it's gross.
It'll be good.
Okay.
It's going to look great on that bike. Doing it. Yeah. Riding, baby.
I just got off the FXR, first ride ever. Honestly, I am straight blown away. The stories are real. This thing is complete magic. I pulled it out at first and it felt wonky and all over the place. I realized the tires were super low. We pulled it right to the gas station, and after that we hit the highway, big switchbacks. First off, this motor is a ripper. It's pulling killer, feels really good. I think it's at least as quick as the Dyna, but the chassis feels just so good. I was like, I'm having an absolute blast. We were screaming and high-fiving, and it's so rad. I'm in love with this thing, and we did 20 miles, 30 miles.
Good little rip in, yeah.
We have been cruising, and it felt really comfortable. Everything worked. It shifted well. It's definitely an older bike. I can feel like this table is too tight. The grips are coming off of here. And we were like, let's go find a place we can sit down and talk about how rad this thing is, because I was just so pumped. And I'm like, it's faster than I thought. It handles better than I thought. Even with that giant front wheel, like you can lay it and it turns, it'll pull right out of them. It lays right up. It's like stiff and like you can feel what it wants to do and you can ride it pretty fast. And I'm just amazed. So that was the plan. And then we're like, let's go sit down somewhere and have a burger and talk about it. And we kept riding. And then some not so great things happened. I noticed that it's pouring oil out a lot of places. It was smoking. There's oil kind of everywhere. I'm running and it's running really low on oil pressure. It's at like 8 PSI, which Coons says maybe is okay. I want to check the level, but I'm riding, the speedometer broke. That's why when we were ripping on the highway, it was at like 60-ish, which was legal-ish there. And then it started just going all the way around. And then it just stopped moving altogether. So in like 19 miles or whatever, it died. It had this weird sweep in the bottom of it and it died. But I'm here to say, like, these are wicked, wicked, wicked bikes. I felt immediately more at home than I did. I thought after riding the Dyna, I was like, I don't think I'm gonna love this thing. It's so old. How could it feel better than that, which is solid and responsive? And it totally does. It's a little smaller. It feels killer. The deal is this. Eric Buell, I believe, was the head of the development team of this bike, right? He is a legendary AMA racer. He was like a top 10 privateer against monster factory teams. All right, he's Eric Buell. He made Buell, you know, the company where they make super gnarly bikes powered by V-twin motors. But when Harley let him loose, he built this thing. It has this V frame. That's how it's easily identifiable. But the motor is rubber mounted. It has the big twin in it, so it's an 80 cubic inch big twin. This one has tons of power. They said it's stockish with a rebuild. That's what the old man said, but it feels like it. A rocket ship, and it's crisp and it's tuned well and it goes. The power is amazing. The leaks I'm concerned about, oil pressure I'm concerned about, but riding awesome.
Yeah, it is up here on the rocker boxes. I mean, I'm sure you just hammered on it harder than it has been in
I was gonna say
20 years.
Yeah, maybe.
So you know, woke it up from a slumber pretty hard.
I get it. I was just gonna say, like, oh, I know the old man said he took it out and ripped it up and down the road for 6 miles or so just to make sure it all worked. And then maybe we got excited.
Yeah,
I was feeling like a superhero, if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
I was like, oh yeah, motorcycle.
Let's have some
Have some
burgers.
Google some things.
Yeah, we'll drink a couple of burgers.
Drink a few burgers. Look at some numbers. We know it's got oil, and it's running and sounding great.
He runs like a monster.
I can tell.
Yeah, I mean, I cannot express how.
I looked very comfortable.
I love
halfway
this
through
motorcycle
one
so
turn.
much. Yeah, I was like,
Halfway through one turn, I was like, we're hauling oats. This is great. This is a day of work. I
yeah,
love
dude.
it so
Good day
much.
of work, brother.
Yeah, not bad at all.
I can't believe it. I'm Harley guy all of a sudden
Harley guy.
overnight. Big Harley dude here. It's good.
All right, let's let it cool off.
Yeah.
We need some water and drink some burgers.
Yeah, let's drink some burgers. Take our keys out and
First bar?
yeah, so we went riding. And we went way longer than we thought.
Yeah.
And then I just realized, do you know where the truck and trailer are?
I know it's about a 35-minute ride from wherever this is, but I don't really have a clue.
Wildwoods.
We didn't make a lot of turns. We also didn't make a note of where we parked.
I'm saying we have no idea.
Was it a lumber yard?
It was an old school for sale. We could start Googling schools for sale.
Schools for sale.
I might do that. There was a weird gas station.
I think we were on that road for a while. We probably find that on the map and trace it back.
I'm not kidding.
We didn't drop any breadcrumbs.
I have no idea.
I don't.
No,
know where that is.
no idea. We're idiots.
We didn't drop ourselves a pin.
Nothing.
We were so excited to get on these bikes.
Yeah.
And go.
Maybe ride these bikes home. If you guys see a 2014 Dodge and an enclosed white trailer,
a giant trailer.
somewhere near Happy Valley, Pennsylvania, let me know.
Yeah, message at D'Angelo.
Yeah. Jeez.
Yeah, so here we are with no idea of how to figure out how to get back to the truck. And what did we just realize?
Yeah, you realize that Apple Maps tells you where you parked your
Parked car. Literally the thing we're trying to find. Parked car is in Apple Maps.
30 minutes.
Feels right.
201 Hoovertown Road. In case my phone dies, remember that.
201 Hoovertown.
Yes.
Proceed to the route.
All right, that's
Let's
right.
go. dark. Got some gas. It's freezing. Can't find a t-shirt. I got my phone stabbed in here. And we're rocking. Good.
Oh, looking fresh.
Yeah, Walmart large is huge, dude.
Looking fresh.
It's June, so there's like one hoodie available. This is it.
You got it.
I'll take it. I'm freezing. 1998. Worth it.
Next stop, the truck.
Truck time. Let's ride. So we made it back to the truck. Turns out Apple Maps somehow knows where you leave your car, which was a total, complete lifesaver. I don't know because we jumped on 2 other motorcycles and went highway speed somewhere else, but it knew that we left here and it got us back here, and that's fantastic because we would have been a whole day of figuring it out. So I'm pumped. I've got 2 new motorcycles. Apparently I'm like a super Harley guy now. What I like is this. This thing rides amazing. This thing rides pretty great. This is covered in oil. It feels super analog. It's way more of a disaster. This is fuel injected, reliable, and feels really good. So between the 2, I should always have a Harley to ride, I think. And I'm also very excited to start making them better because I love the way this thing rides. I really like how this thing rides, but I know that with a couple quick changes, and I can transform the character of these things. And I love learning new things, and I'm a total newbie to the Harley life, so I'm learning how they work, how they're built, how they make power, all these different things, what parts you can get for them, which ways you can modify them to make them better. And I love that. I've done all sorts of trucks, you know, diesel trucks, hot rods, imports, rotaries, whatever, but I've never messed with Harleys. So look, I'm excited about it. Jump in the comments and let me know a couple things. Number 1, do you care about motorcycles? Do you care about Harleys? Did you know that there's one old weird Harley that actually rides incredible? I didn't until today. It was just fully confirmed. And did I get like completely hosed trading my 240 for these 2 things? I don't think so. I'm excited about it. That's it for this episode of Stay Tuned. Please like and subscribe, and we will see y'all next time. Brother.